Hello, welcome to the Ratchet and Clank A Crack in Time any percent speedrun tutorial. This tutorial is for any percent, but there's a lot of stuff that carries over to NG+, if you're interested in running that. There are timestamps in the description if you're looking for anything specific, but apart from that, let's get started. So, first of all, there are no version differences that matter for this game. There is one version difference, but there's a strat that you can do that makes it not matter anyway. And in fact, I'm running on that version, so it doesn't matter. It also doesn't matter if you have like disk or HDD or SSD, because the game is timed with an in-game timer. You'll see on your files, all of them have this time played, and that's how we time the run. So it factors out loading screens, cutscenes, and a few other things, and that's what we use to time the run. Because of this, there is something that you can do. It's optional, but this game has some long, unskippable cutscenes. Like the worst one is at the start of the game. There's a 3-minute long cutscene. So normally you would have to sit through that 3-minute long cutscene every time you wanted to reset. So because those cutscenes don't count towards the in-game time, you're allowed to actually remove them using like a modded console. And I will link a tutorial to how to do that in the description. Before you start the run, there's only like one thing that matters. Just go into options and turn off weapon upgrade alerts. Something else that you can change if you want to is you can change the control layout from default to shooter. Now, there's a few differences between these two. Other runners use shooter, I use default. It doesn't really matter too much, but basically default is better for shooting, and shooter is better for platforming, which doesn't make sense, but that's the way it is, because shooter, basically you have to aim manually when you shoot. So I'm just going to be using default for this, but if you want to try shooter, you can. So, to start the run, just go into new game, select casual of course, choose whatever brightness you want, and then make a new save. And time will start, if you haven't removed your cutscenes, you'll get the cutscene here. And time starts basically as soon as this finishes, which would be right now. Okay, so we start with the Clank section, and for Clank, there is a basic movement that you have to follow that's fast. So basically, when you helipack with Clank, you can actually cancel it by pressing R2 or triangle during the helipack animation, and that falling from the helipack is actually faster than your running speed. So basically, how you want to move as Clank is you just want to be basically helipacking and cancelling the helipack immediately after, so that you're maximizing the time that you're spending in that falling animation. So you basically just want to go jump, jump, R2, X, R2, X, R2, X. You can also use triangle, but it's a lot more awkward, and I recommend just using R2. So now, if you're a beginner, I would recommend that you just go along here and you just do the normal tutorial section. It'll tell you about how to use the camera, and then eventually you'll get over to that area there. But if you're once you like, maybe after you've done like a few runs, then you're probably going to want to do the skip for this section. So this skip, it's called Sigmund Skip, and it's a really cool trick, but it's a bit difficult to learn, but once you've got it, it's actually not that bad. So the first thing that you want to do for it is basically, when that bridge breaks, you want to jump off it, then you want to try to fall down onto this lamp, which is actually harder than it seems. But if you do not make it to the lamp and you fall down here, then you can just get up to it like this. So once you're on the lamp, there's basically if you go to like this part of the map, there'll be enemies that spawn and will, like, if I move over here, then yeah, you see those enemies run past. So basically what we want to do is we want to abuse that by spawning the enemies, then jumping on them, and then riding the enemies to the next section. So basically you want to land on a lamp, and once you go into like the right corner of the lamp, kind of, that's when they'll spawn. So what you want to do is you want to hit that right side of the lamp, and then immediately jump onto the enemies. Now, this is harder than it sounds because you have to control the camera as well as jump off. So what I do is I use a claw grip, which is basically I have my right thumb on the right stick, and then I have my index finger on X and my middle finger on triangle. I know I said to use R2 for the cancels, but here you want to use triangle because I just find that easier. And so basically you want to um, hit the part of the lamp and then immediately jump off and try and land like, or you want to try and go like to about where the middle of the screen, I guess. So look like this, and whoop, okay, never mind, I didn't spawn them. I didn't get far enough back.
Warning.
So hit
Warning.
that, and
Unauthorized
then
sonic
basically
device for
you
sector
just
1.
want to be in the air as the enemies come under you, and then once they're under you, you just cancel your last fly, and you should fall onto them. So it is pretty tricky. It does take a while to learn initially, but like I said, once you actually have the hang of it, it's actually not that hard. Like I can get it about 90% of the time now. And so basically, once you get to here, you're just going to want to glide into that room that was right there. That part's not actually um, very difficult because you just kind of clip into the room. So as you're riding them, you move forward a bit, and then once you get to about here, jump off. And you want to, don't cancel those helipacks immediately, you want to get a bit of distance out of them. And then, yeah, you'll just, like, basically fall into this if you're here. And then from there, you can go over here, and this is the area that you would be at if you did the tutorial section, except now you're here a minute earlier. So from here, you're just pretty simple for this part. You're just basically going through the level casually, but of course doing the movement. So go through this area, here, across this bridge, and then in this room. Now, again, if it's your first run, you're probably not going to want to do this skip either. So like if you do the full casual Clank section, it's about 3 minutes. If you do Sigmund Skip, that saves a minute, and if you do this strat, I'm about to show you, that'll save an extra 30 seconds. So for your first runs, I wouldn't worry about that minute 30 because they're kind of difficult tricks, and you can easily save a minute 30 somewhere else. But once you've started to learn most of the game, I would probably come back to this one and then Sigmund Skip. So what you want to do here is basically you're trying to grab this ledge here first of all, and the way you do that is basically you have to hold L2, and you'll notice that L2 is strafe. Like when you move around with Clank, you know, he'll always be facing the front. So basically you just want to like fall off this ledge while holding L2, and then helipack into that corner because you have to grab the corner like right on the edge. If you just grab it like, you know, like here, that's not going to do anything. You're just going to pull yourself up normal. You have to like pull yourself up right on the edge. So yeah, you just want to like come over here, pull down, and then helipack up while holding L2. And then when Clank does this sliding animation, you'll see here I haven't clipped in. It's because I have to press square. So sometimes you'll clip in automatically, sometimes you just stay there. But basically you just want to, once you get to that point, like at the end of the thing, you just want to press square, and then you will clip through generally. So now you're in this area, and basically you're trying to get over to that, like that section where that robot is. So you just want to jump out to the side here and land on top of this. And then don't try and like jump off this, because you know if I jump off, then I'm gonna get clipped back into where I was. You want to try and fall off and basically helipack into the next section. So jump around here, then you want to fall off, and once you fall in, you can helipack, and now we're up here. So from here, it's kind of just a straight line to the end. Basically, we're going to be going over that gap there, so we're like skipping, going around. So basically, you want to come to about like halfway on this floor. So notice if I go any further, then
Dispatching
actually
time
no. Okay,
clearance.
well you can come to the back here. But yeah, if you go any further, then there's no floor below you. So basically, once you're about here, you just want to jump forward and play back. It's not very tight, you can make it pretty easily, and you'll land over in this area here. So the end of the level is just over there in that room, and to get there you're going to want to walk through this wall here. You can't walk through it here, so you've got to go around. And then you're going to want to jump up, and there's like a ledge here. So you want to land on this ledge here. You only need to do 2 helipacks, but I probably recommend 3, because if you grab this ledge, I'm not going to demonstrate it because we might be here for like a minute, but if you grab that ledge, then the game could actually lag a lot, which doesn't actually matter because that doesn't count to IGT in-game time, but it's just annoying. So just try and land on this rather than ledge grabbing. And then once you're up here, you want to jump onto this thing, and from here it's pretty simple. You want to run along here, and then basically you're just going to jump down into this room, and you're pretty much done now. You just need to walk to the end of this ledge, and there you go. That's GC1. So that is actually pretty much the only Clank section we end up doing in the run, because you can skip GC2, GC3, and GC4. You do have to do GC5, but it's like just running to the end. It's pretty simple. So now we have a Ratchet section. So this planet is actually pretty boring, really, especially at the start here. So you're kind of just doing this casually, and there's not really a whole lot that you have to do here. There's like a few strats. There's one strat that World Record doesn't actually do, but for the most part, this opening section, it's pretty chill. It's a pretty pretty different to the Clank section, where you had a lot of strats and a lot of different movement. For Ratchet, there's no specific movement. The only thing I'll say is that when you double jump, you do move a bit slower than normal, so don't like try to avoid double jumps. That's probably just going to do more harm than good, but don't just like double jump around the place, I guess. I will actually say here, so for these winch cranks, originally I thought you had to like use the like left stick in a specific way, like going back and forth. Turns out the easiest way to do these is really just to spin both sticks around. Like if you just spin them both in a circle, then you're basically just going to do it as fast as possible. One interesting thing you can do is if you like, okay, I didn't get it. If you like side flip or back flip while Walk is running into you, you get like a huge boost, which doesn't actually have any use, but it's pretty cool. So, yeah, okay. So basically, you just want to this casual path, go up here, and fall down here.
I'll find another way around.
So now, I did say there was one strat that World Record doesn't do, so I will show that. It's coming up here, but like, of course, you know, I probably wouldn't recommend doing it. It saves like 8 seconds. So here, instead of taking this like route along the platforms, just come over to this rock, and basically just double jump up here, and you'll either ledge grab up or you might make it up completely. Then basically you want to turn this winch crank and then go and get the structure bomb. And like if you're doing the normal route, then like that's all you have to do. But yeah, I will just show like what the alternate strat is here. Basically, you can come into this tree and you can then like basically you can swing the wrench, and this is easier on shooter actually. So you can swing the wrench, and that might just teleport you up to the top of the tree anyway. That's how we originally found it, and then you can basically jump on top of this wall. Or you can do a triple wrench. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. So you can get that, and then basically you can jump on top of this wall and then go over, and that skips the section. It saves about 8 seconds. But also, you can kind of like point your wrench here, and you can try to do a triple wrench swing, because if you wrench swing 3 times in a row, then you can actually jump out of the last wrench swing, and you can make it with that kind of. But yeah, both of these are pretty hard. I do not recommend going for them. I don't go for them. But just for the sake of showing everything, I thought I might as well show that. So, okay, if you're doing the normal path, basically you'll turn this winch crank first, and then you'll go get the bomb. And then there is one thing you can do here with Cork. Cork, so, okay, stand behind this, like, patch of rocks on the ground. Cork is about to come in front of us. And then you want to try and, like, double jump on his head. Hyper strike. And then, yeah, you can do that. Then, basically stand on him and save like 2 seconds by getting there a little faster. But you know, of course, if you don't get that, so now we have to save these 3 Fongo kids. So the order we're going to do it is we're going to do this one first, then this one, and then come across to get this one. So we're going to start walking this way. You can like fire some shots to these guys while you're walking if you want to. But then you're just going to want to use the Structo Bomb for these guys. The Structo Bomb is the weapon that we'll be using in the entire run. It's just very good. And yeah. So there's not really a whole lot to like the combat with the Structo Bomb. It's kind of just something you get a feel for, like, but it's also not that difficult, especially here. I do use like as I said before, I fired some shots like when I was far away from these guys with the constructor pistol. But yeah, if you're up close, you're just gonna want to use the bomb. So save both of those kids. They're pretty straightforward. Now here we do have a kind of difficult strat. It's not too bad, but it does take some getting used to. So the first thing is when you come in here, this cutscene will play, and actually the positions of these platforms in the cutscene will actually like continue from wherever you skip in the cutscene, but the cutscene doesn't take in-game time, so you can like pause it at like you can skip the cutscene at a specific point, so the platforms will be like perfectly set up, but obviously I didn't get a chance to show exactly when I do it there. For your first runs though, that's not really going to matter, but you can look at the world record and I think, I guess I did it there. But yeah, so what we're going to do, normally you'd have to do, like, you'd have to go through those platforms, go all the way around, and then you can do the save the kid. But what we're going to do is we are just going to stand on these rocks here, and then you're going to try and double jump and ledge grab onto this. So, ledge grabbing to clip, even though it doesn't really look like it yet, that is a common theme in this game, because basically when you ledge grab something, you, you don't have collision, basically, during the ledge grab animation. So you can use that to get out of bounds, and we do use that a fair bit. So we get out of bounds on top of this, and basically you're just going to want to jump over this part of it. Don't go too far, or like slide down that. And then from here, you're going to stand on this. So, you see those platforms that are moving back and forth? You can actually make the jump from here to there. But if you just try like a normal double jump, you're not going to make it. You have to like delay your double jump. And if you're used to the OG3 Ratchet and Clank games, that might actually be quite difficult, because in this game you can input your second jump way after the first one. Like even compared to something like QFB where you have strats doing that, like it's way longer in this game. So you want to like stand on the edge and basically you want to wait until they come together like this. That's the best time to go. And then you want to jump and then jump, right? Like there's a huge gap between those. And so yeah, you definitely want to get used to the timing yourself, but that is all you need to do. So then you just hop on this one, come over here, turn the winch crank, or bolt crank, I guess, and yeah, now you've saved it. So you also want to do just a quick death abuse here, because it's slightly faster than walking back. You can walk back if you want, it's not that big a deal. And then here we kind of just have to wait for some dialogue.
Happy to be of service,
So,
ma'am.
yeah, I don't think I have anything else to say right now. We're coming up to a combat section, I guess. And actually here there's going to be 3 patches of enemies. So the first 2 patches you don't need to worry about. I do kill some of them, basically just to make a path for the NPCs to walk through, because they can be a bit annoying. But it's only the 3rd patch of enemies that you actually kill. So I fire like one bomb here, so that like they don't get stuck. Then similar thing here. But then this patch of enemies you do have to kill all. Now don't worry about ammo, because your bomb will upgrade to B2 during this fight, so there you go, your ammo gets restocked. And yeah, it's fairly straightforward, not a whole lot to talk about. And okay, that was actually pretty good, because this guy Alpheus, was very close to me after I finished that fight, so he didn't have to walk that long. Sometimes, like, you know, as I was saying, you can get kind of stuck, and it's a bit annoying, but it's it doesn't matter there as much as it does at the end. So here you're just going up to that temple over there. Don't bother going around up here, just jump up on this and forward, and then we have an unskippable cutscene. So in this cutscene, just when the dialogue pops up, just say yes, and then actually I might just skip this one again. Okay, so once the cutscene finishes, you're going to go into the temple. There is a strat you can do here. It works better on shooter, because you can line yourself up. World record doesn't. I don't know if I don't go for a world record, if I don't try it, but basically what you can do is you can basically stand in this corner and aim your gun here, and then wrench swing, and you can like push yourself through that wall there. It's a pretty minor thing, it only saves a few seconds. If you do get it though, just make sure that once you get that save point that pops up there, you need to die, because otherwise you'll kind of softlock. Well, yeah, you'll kind of be softlocked when you come back, so just make sure you die there if you can die. From here it's mostly just casual, just going through this fast. Of course, make sure you take the the side that's moving. Things. One thing to note is that like if you run into these, like those lasers, you will like get knocked back. But if you just like jump into them, then you're actually fine. So like if you're gonna hit one of those, just jump into it. Don't like try to slow down. So now here we get the Zoni container. You can throw your wrench at it to grab it rather than walking all the way up. And here we're gonna get our first 2 Zoni. Originally you only got 1, but there is now there is a strat where you can grab both of them. So first of all, you just want to get this one. You know, it's pretty easy. It's the one they intended to get. But then, rather than chasing the second Zoni all the way through the temple, we are actually going to do an out of bounds here. So, in these rocks here, you'll notice they all kind of look pretty similar. but you want to find this rock here. So this rock is like it's next to this blue thing. It's in between like these two line kind of things. And what's important is you can stand behind it. Now, at the start of the temple, I mentioned that there was a thing where you could swing your wrench and clip through. This one is a much easier version of that. It's like definitely the easiest wrench clip in the game, because all you have to do is basically just stand behind this and then swing the wrench. And then it might not look like much happened, but now I can jump behind here and get it. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, that platforming is kind of awkward, but basically you can just jump up like through here, and now you're out of bounds. Now you're in the rocks. So here, what you want to do is, so you want to get to like, remember, okay, yeah. So you want to get to this place here, which is like next to this big kind of block thing, and basically you want to jump from that into like this part of the reef that you can ledge grab. And similar to before, by ledge grabbing, we can basically go up through this, and now we are fully out of bounds. Now we can go, well, I mean, technically you can go like back to the start of the temple and whatever, but that's not useful for us. Here, what we want to do is you want to jump on this vine, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to enter the temple from below, which might seem useless, but you'll notice you can see the Zoni right there. Like, yeah, right there. So basically that Zoni, it only starts running away if you're like behind it. But if we jump onto this and then we fall down, then it's just going to stand there, right? And now this is useful because now if we throw our wrench at it and we get it, it will actually take us to where it would be if you follow the Zoni normally. So that saves a decent amount of time. It's actually yeah, actually the main time save of that isn't here, but it's like you can actually just skip the first Zoni entirely, which does save time here. But it's useful because we want to get 6 Zoni in the run. We want to kind of get them as fast as possible, so getting an extra Zoni here is useful for that. So now here you have a combat section, and it's pretty standard. Now, so you can just use the bomb entirely for this, and that'll get you a decent amount of bomb XP. One thing that I like to do that probably isn't optimal, to be honest, is I like also throw the wrench at the enemies. And like you don't really like. I think you probably should just throw the bomb at all of them, really. So don't do what I do, I guess. But yes, pretty standard combat. You'll notice that for these last 2 enemies, they might be kind of hard to hit, so just stand on like this slightly taller thing, and then kind of missed it now. But once they come together, basically you're just going to throw a bomb at both of them, and that should generally get them. Because yeah, from the ground it can be a little annoying. Now here, sorry, bugs. Anyway, okay. So okay. Now here you'll notice Alpheus is like Alpheus just walked through here. If you go like ahead of him, you might notice that he just stops moving there, because it sucks. So if that happens, you just want to come in here and then hit him with the wrench. You can't seem to throw it with the wrench, you just have to actually hit him. So basically, yeah, if you see, make sure you're watching it first of all, and then if he stops, just go and hit him with the wrench, and then make sure that he's still going. You can also get stuck if you don't kill all the enemies here, so make sure you do that, and just like, when you're around here, just turn around and see, yeah, okay, keep running. Because otherwise you'll lose like 30 seconds at the end, it's pretty annoying. But yeah, so more combat here. Now, I am going to do something here that, so basically there's a dropship that's about to spawn, and, I guess I'll just do this first. So this dropship, you want to kill it before it drops enemies, because, okay, I didn't actually get it there, but yeah, you want to kill it before it drops this enemy. You know, of course you don't want to fight the enemy. So one thing that I do, just to save a little bit of time and kill the dropship faster, is basically when I'm waiting for the dropship, you can do something where you throw the bomb and then you equip the swing shot, which is on up D-pad. So basically you throw and equip, and you'll notice there Ratchet did the throwing animation, but he didn't actually throw anything. And that means that now when I switch back to the bomb, it'll automatically throw one. And that's useful because you can do that and then basically throw two... There you go. Okay, you can throw two bombs at once, which is just useful for killing it a little bit faster. Anyway, now you just want to get this third Zoni, and that's pretty much it for Zolar. The rest is just doing casually, going back to the ship, and yeah, that's not really a whole lot more to it. Next is Vorselon, Vorselon 1. But yeah, pretty much just this now.
Quick, use this Zoni vessel to repair your starship.
So I did mention before that you can skip the first Zoni, and if that happens, you'll actually have two Zoni here, and you might think that that would stop you from like repairing Aphelion because you're supposed to need 3 Zoni, but it actually just makes it so that when you repair Aphelion, it just says the upgrade is undefined, which is pretty cool. Now here you might notice in World Record, what I do here is I load the game immediately as soon as you spawn in. That's something I wouldn't worry about at first. I mean, like, you can do it if you want. It saves, like... So, okay, if I load the game here, then the in-game time won't be changed. And what it'll do is it puts you about... like, it puts you where the fight with the ships that you're about to see starts. So it'll put me, like, here, basically. So there, I just had to... if I save, actually, I can see exactly how much it saves. So, there, that just took me... Okay, that's a lot more than I thought. That took me 14 seconds. So, by loading, basically I would save those 14 seconds. But, you know, it doesn't really make a difference in real time, because, like, the load itself takes that long, pretty much. So, yeah, I guess, I mean, now that I see it saves 14 seconds, maybe you should do it. But anyway, now you're gonna fight these ships, so you kinda, I guess the main thing is there's one power-up that they can drop that's really useful. It's the purple one, it's called Kaboom, and basically just destroys all ships on the screen. So you want to kind of, like, if you get that, you want to make sure you're, like, okay, there it is. Okay, kind of did the opposite of what I was about to say. You kind of want to make sure you're, like, facing a lot of ships there. But also note that it does, like, have a range. It's not necessarily all ships on the screen, but, yeah. Apart from that, though, there's not really much killing these ships. Now, okay, once you kill the ships, though, don't land on Vorselon. You want to make a save here, and this save is going to be useful in about 40 minutes time, so I'm not going to explain it right now, but just make a save here, and then land on Vorselon. But yeah, that save will allow us to skip 2 planets, essentially. Okay, so first of all, don't worry about these yeah, it's just run through them. The second one, if you don't pull the thing down, you can just come over here and skip it.
All right.
This
Maintain
third
radio
one, you
silence.
do
I'll
need
contact
to
you when I'm
pull out the
inside.
burst fuse here. You need to pull that out. But after that, you just do the same thing. Like you don't need to pull the bridge down. So now here we have an out of bounds that is kind of tricky. So you want to come up here and instead of pulling this out, basically you want to double jump onto this. And so now this double jump, first of all, is harder than it looks. You'll notice if you try to do it from here, you probably end up ledge grabbing, and you think, oh, okay, I have ledge grab, that'll work, but you fall off. So you can't really, it's like, I mean, you can do it from here, but it's much harder. I find it much easier if you're coming like side on, so basically you're like double jumping up here, and then the top of your double jump, you're like, then you're basically starting to angle onto it. But, you know, play with it, see what you find easier. So then what you're going to do is you're going to try and like jump behind these pipes here and basically get on top of that yellow. So you'll notice if I go like this, that's not going to work. So you basically have to like you have to go around like this, and then you can get up here. So now, similarly to before, again, you know, you can ledge grab and just pull yourself through the ceiling. And so now we're out of bounds, but from here you can't really do a lot. Like we want to get over like there basically, and you know you can't really do that just from here. So what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to stand on top of this thing, and then we're gonna try and jump onto like the actual like ceiling of Vorselon'S ship. So now the way I set this up is basically you can see where Ratchet's left foot is. So Ratchet is basically standing, like his foot is like aligned with that left, with that like pipe. Basically, you just want to put like Ratchet, like have his left foot like, on that pipe pretty much. That's pretty much the line. And so from there, you need to like don't touch the stick at all. Just want to double jump and hyper strike. And if you've lined that up right, then you should do what I just did. You should get on the roof here. So now that is kind of tricky. You might need to play with the lineup a bit. But yeah, basically you just want to have Ratchet aligned where his left foot is like on that pipe. Maybe a little further right. I did notice when I came up there I was a little bit to the left. But yeah, just put Ratchet's left foot on that second pipe. Now here, this is actually probably the hardest part of it. So now you have to double jump up and then double jump up and then hyper strike onto this. And you'll notice I struggled with it there a few times. I usually don't. But yeah, this is something that is very hard at first. Like it took me ages to actually get this initially, and it is kind of something you just have to practice. Like you just have to do it a lot. I guess one tip is that first of all, make sure you're like holding X for your jumps rather than just pressing it. See, if I just like double tap X really quickly, I get to about there. Whereas if I hold it, like I come off the screen. So yeah, make sure you're holding X first of all, and second of all, don't just like hold forward and try to jump because you'll notice you won't really be able to, and that's just not really making kind of work. But yeah, you want to try to like come in from the side, I guess. So like I'm like, yeah, it's just something that you do kind of need to get a feel for. But yeah, it will be difficult at first. Now from here, you're gonna go like to the right along the roof, and you're just gonna keep going right until you see, so that thing up there, like that green line, basically that's where you want to fall down. So yeah, like right about here, like just before the green line, if I fall down from here, then I will fall into a room, and this cutscene will start playing, and that saves about 20 seconds. Now you don't have to do that on your first run, a bit of a difficult trick, and it does only save 20 seconds, but it is something that I would recommend learning. Now, something to note, just in that cutscene there, you can actually kill that enemy as soon as it spawns, like, in the cutscene. So you can, like, fire the bomb, like, as soon as you see that enemy. So, now we're gonna go through here, a little bit of combat, but not necessarily. Now, here, rather than doing this whole puzzle, all you're gonna do is you're gonna stand on this thing, and then double jump and hyper strike up here. Like, this is probably one of the easiest skips in the game for, like, how much it's skipped. Because normally you'd have to do that whole winch crank puzzle and, like, bring out the platforms and that. You can literally just hyper strike up. Now, then you have to kill these enemies. Be mindful of the fact that those, like, 3 small enemies will turn into the 1 big enemy, so just try and kill those first, I guess, so you don't hit the big enemies. And, yeah, once the door opens, just go through. And there'll be a hollow plan up here, just like as an example, to show you that, like, these are hollow plans. Kind of, well, you can technically avoid this, but for the route we're doing, you can't avoid it. So just throw the wrench, pick it up, and there'll be an enemy here.
Give me a status
One.
update.
And now we have door. So, okay. So this is a pretty difficult strat. It saves about, like,
Alright, we'll find out what you can.
like 6 minutes, I think.
Of Nefarious, he might be a friend to us.
Because it skips like 2/3 of Vorselon. So the Vorselon fight, you might notice, is right here. So if you could, like, just clip out here, you could get to the Vorselon fight. And actually there is an alternate strat where you clip over there, but I'll explain why we don't do that. I mean, you can do that if you want, but I'll explain why we do this strat instead. So, first of all, just get rid of these force fields. And then, so now those small enemies are going to spawn. So, I get out the bomb, and then basically, once the enemies are, like, I don't know how to explain this, like, once they're, like, I guess once the bomb, like, locks onto them, kinda, like, you saw how the, like, the bomb, the aiming thing, like, started to target the enemies. That's basically when I throw one, and then, yeah, that left me quite a bit there. Then I try to basically get it down to just one enemy. You don't need to do that, but I find it a lot easier, but, you know, you do have to be mindful. If you kill all the enemies, then you're just going to have to basically die on that laser wall, because you won't be able to do the skip. So, what you need to do is you need to lure an enemy to here, right? And so the way you do that is basically you just need to, like, just stand right here, and, like, as you can see, when the enemy charges, just double jump so it doesn't hit you, and then it'll be right, like, around this area. And so, the reason we want to do that is because, well, because of that, because, so, basically, all enemies have, maybe not all, but, most enemies have a part of their head, I guess, that you can just stand on. Like, you'll notice, back on Zolar, I did stand on Quark's head to, double jump over the wall. So basically, you just want to, you're trying to stand on that part so you can reach up here and, clip through. And so, for these guys, that part of their head is basically where their antennas are. But it is kind of, like, small. It's hard to really, it's a hard trick, right? But that is what you need to do with, like, in theory, right? You just want to stand roughly where their antennas are, and you want to double jump and, ledge grab up through this wall. So, once you're here, basically, you do need to be mindful about not just falling back into where you were. You want to, like, go, like, to the top right. You can see where where it looks like if I jump there I would die, but that's not actually the case because there is a room right below us, and you'll see if I jump through there, then I land perfectly in this room. So, yeah, that is door clip. It is a hard trick, but that's how you do it. And now, so if I go, so okay, right now you can see that autosave in the bottom left. Now, here in a run, all you need to do is just load the game, and then you can just leave Vorselon. Now, originally what we did was we like started the Vorselon fight, and we did the Vorselon fight. And like I mentioned before, there is a strategy, there is a strat that you can do that does the Vorselon fight. You just clip in and then you do it. But it turns out all you need is actually that trigger that's before the Vorselon fight, because, well, normally that would be after the Vorselon fight. So basically now I can just load the game and leave. I can just leave Vorselon and it'll be finished. So, yeah, so as soon as you see that autosave, just load the game, and that is actually the first sector of the game done. So up next we have Vela sector. Well, actually, before that we have the Great Clock Skips. I guess I haven't actually mentioned that yet. Or how we're going to do that. So what's going to happen here is you're going to have the option to go to the next sector. Right, now if you just take that, if you just go to the next sector, then you're going to go into the Clank section, right, because that's the next part of the game. So what we want to do instead is we basically want to land on planet Quantos and then go to the next sector, because the way the Clank sections work is whenever you travel to the like the Vela sector, basically the game checks have you entered the Clank section. Now, if we were to go there right now, it would say, well, no, we haven't entered the Clank section, so it's going to go, okay, well, put you in the Clank section. But what we can do here is you can, so I'm going to press triangle to land, and then I'm going to immediately bring up the map, go to the Vela section. So triangle, map, there is that message there, so just make sure you're spamming X. And then I'm going to skip the cutscene immediately. That is important. Make sure you do skip that cutscene by spamming circle. And now it's going to load okay, I'm gonna bit. I'm not sure that I. Yeah, well, I was gonna say, this skip doesn't matter whether you're on SSD or not. I just realized I wasn't really paying attention there, though. So I'm just gonna do that again. So yeah, basically you just want to triangle, select, and then go to the next sector, and then spam circle. Okay. Yeah, I was explaining, I didn't actually pay attention to that. But yeah, basically, what's happening is the first time, where, like right now, this is the cutscene that would play for entering GC2, the second Clank section. So, but then after that, you're immediately loading into Quantos. So basically, you loaded into GC2, you have visited GC2, but now you're on Quantos, you've been taken out of there, which means you can now go to the Vela sector again, and this time it'll say, well, okay, have you done the Clank section yet? And it'll say, yes, you've entered the Clank section. So it assumes you must be coming from the end of the Clank section, and it'll load Vela just fine. So that is basically how we skip the Clank sections. Well, the first two. The third we kind of just skipped by accident. But yeah. So I guess I'll just explain again, because that was like, yeah, what all you need to do for this one is just, whether you're on SSD or HDD or anything, this one, it it is literally just land, open the map, go to the next sector, and then skip the cutscene. So after that, you want to, like, now that I've landed on Qantas and come back, now I can just go to the Vela Section normally. And now it'll play, this would be the ending of GC2 cutscene, and it'll put me in the Vela Sector.
Now entering.
And now that we're here, we are just going to go to the next planet, Molonoth. And this is the planet where we'll get the Hoverboots, which are going to be very useful for the rest of the run. Also, just as a side note, in this game, because planets in this game, and I mean most of the Ratchet and Clank games, they have like 2 different names. Like this is Planet Tauren 4, but it's Molonoth Fields. It's like the area. And in most games, you just like people call it by the planet, but in this game we like tend to talk about the area. Like we say Molonoth instead of Tauren 4, Axiom instead of Tauren 4. So
do the Fongoids know where I can find Azimuth?
Okay, so first off, Molonoth. Instead of going the long way around of doing all of these platforms, you can just stand on top of this thing and basically double jump up and ledge grab up here. Now, I would recommend doing it on this side, because this side it's much easier to get a ledge grab on. I do it on like this side because it's like slightly faster, but I would definitely recommend, like, you know, if you're not at like world record level, just do this one. Do be aware of this crate, because you know if that blows up, which can happen if you just touch it, then you know you'll have to go the long way around. But anyway, after that, turn the catapult and take it. Don't bother pulling this down, just jump on it and jump up. Here you can, like, if you want to, you can jump on this and then like get on with this and go around, but you can also just go through here normally and get the cutscene. So now here we're going to grab our 3rd zone. So if we come around here to the right and throw your wrench, yeah, that zone is there. It's not too hard to get. Did I say 3rd? I meant 4th. With your 4th Zoni. And now what we're going to do here, normally you'd have to, well, actually, first of all, what we're going to do is you're going to jump up onto this, and then turn this, double jump, grab it. You can do it the normal way if you want to, this saves like a second or 2. But now instead of taking this and going all the way around there, or just jumping up onto it and doing the normal way, what we're going to do is we are going to do an out of bounds to get inside the hollow. So this is a bit tricky, but first of all what you want to do is you want to try and stand up on top of this thing. And obviously you can see it's pretty thin, so it's kind of hard, but yeah, you just need to jump up onto it, and from there you're going to try and ledge grab like about basically like as far to the middle as you can go from here, like on this circle thing. You're gonna try and double jump to about like here, right? Like you can't, like that's basically as far as you can reach from here, because if you let it grab to the further left, then you're just gonna slide off like that. So yeah, you want to basically yeah, you can see here I'm kind of getting caught on this, so yeah, you want to try and go like more left and forward instead of trying to like come straight out, I guess. But then yeah, so double jump as far as you can. You should get a standing spot, and now you're going to try and jump onto this. So you can't like stand like here. You have to stand on this edge thing. There's also like an invisible wall, like covering most of that. So you need to try and double jump like right around it. It's not too bad, but yeah, you just kind of need to know where you can stand and where you can't. It's like there, oh, well there I'll fall off. But yeah, once you're up here, you need to like as I said, there's an invisible wall. Okay, actually that's it. I thought it's like right here, I guess. But yeah, you just need to jump onto the like this platform here, which is just like this, and now you're at now you just want to go over here, and basically this thing here, you can either ledge grab up like I did, but sometimes that can be kind of hard. Like you might not get the ledge grab, especially if you don't have not as good with like double jumps. But you can also hyper strike. I think the yeah, as you can see, I think the ledge grab is definitely easier, but yeah, both work. Now from here you want to go to the left, and basically you're going to go along here until you see this area. So basically, so this is the first area where you have, like, basically you're looking for this hole because this is some way to fall through, right? Like this isn't solid. If I fall down, I'll just go through it. So basically, once you come along here, you want to do that. Basically, fall down, and now you're here. Now, this is out of bounds. It's like a good example of why shooter controls can be useful, because you'll notice if you want to jump up here, and then basically like just then you saw when I walked through that wall, my camera kind of changed, especially if I do it here. Like, yeah, my camera completely flipped, but that doesn't happen at all with shooter. With shooter, your camera just stays still there. So if you are having like trouble with the camera, that's a reason why you might want to use shooter. But once you're in here, make sure you get that save point that just popped up, because if you don't get that, you'll softlock. And then here, it doesn't necessarily matter right now, but you just want to buy Mr. Zircon.
Mr. Zircon?
Because useful. Then here we have a pretty, it's a fairly difficult strat at first. And I guess I will show the other strat you can do. But basically, what you want to do is you want to, like, not do that. You want to jump around these and, like, ledge grab on the other side. So, the first one. The second one you can't ledge grab. Well, you can make it without a ledge grab, but I think this one is harder. And then the third one is pretty easy because it's angled out like this. And so those kind of just take practice. You have to know where the like invisible wall is, like because the invisible walls stick they like stick out quite a bit more than you would think. Like it looks like you can jump around this pretty easily, but just there, you know, I kind of underestimated where the invisible wall would be, and I died. So you just have to know that like the invisible walls are bigger than these. Like the walls are bigger than these things show, basically. Now, if you're really struggling with that and you just want to finish a run, then I would recommend doing this strat, which is where you come over here. And I haven't actually done this strat in a couple of years, I think, so hopefully I don't mess it up. But basically, you want to come over here, pull this down, and then once you land up here, you can also just land up here, jump up to here, and then climb up to this one, then I think double jump over this. Okay, I guess. Okay, do that, but I actually self-locked myself here, so, okay. One sec. Okay, yeah, so you want to come across here. Over here, don't worry about the battery bot. Pull that down, and launch upwards. Yeah, climb this tower thing, climb here, and then walk around here to the right. Now, be careful, you want to double jump far enough that you don't get stuck in that area where I just got stuck. You can't actually get out of there. So, run off, double jump, yep, at least did that. Then here, you want to get around this, and now you're over here, and here the camera's a bit off this, but basically you're just going to double jump into that pit there, the same place that you would get to with the other strat. Right. That is a delayed double jump, but it's not too difficult. It's definitely easier than these ones. So yeah, if you're really struggling with these ones, or if you're just doing a first run, then you might as well learn that. That should be easier. But anyway, regardless of what strat you want to come over here. You don't have to kill this guy here, but you probably should for the XP. If you don't kill that guy, then you would have to like double jump like over these. You can get over them, but yeah. So now here, you need to kill these guys, and then you're going to start the rail section. Now there really isn't a whole lot. I mean, there really isn't anything to talk about here. Well, okay. There's one thing you can get where the rails will be going like quite a bit faster than this. It's called fast rails. It's like it's not random, but it's like, I mean, we know that it can be influenced by your previous files, and okay, ignore that. It's like sometimes you might get the rails going faster than normal. I'll just ignore that. But yeah, that's like pretty much all there is. You can also go faster. Well, if you basically want to try and switch to rails as early as you can, like right here, you'll notice when I land on that, I got kind of a speed boost. So you can carry that if you jump after it, but I don't recommend that because in most cases you die. But yeah, basically that's all there is to it. Just do the rail section normally and try to switch rails as early as you can. But yeah, I will skip. Okay, right. So after the rails, you get this unskippable cutscene, and then you will get the hoverboot. So let's equip them with the right D-pad. And now the first thing we're going to do with the hoverboots is skip the hoverboot rail. But before that, I guess I'll explain how to do double jumps, because they're the probably the most important technique in this run, I guess. Now you're probably thinking, haven't we been doing double jumps? I mean, it's just that. And yeah, it's kind of a silly name, but basically, the way the hoverboots work is, now if you're going slow with them like this, you can double jump just fine. But if you're accelerating, you can't. You can only do one big jump. So basically, what a double jump in this context is we're basically trying to do a double jump, but get that. Well, we want to be able to jump twice, but while accelerating. Basically, the basic double jump, what you need to do is that, so you can double jump while you're going slow normally, right? But at the end of that double jump, you can just hold the accelerator. Go jump, jump, accelerate. And you'll notice you do get the acceleration at the end of that. And that is the basic, that's the basics of how to do a double. You just need to do 2 jumps while going slow, and then accelerate. Something else to note about this is that, like, if you I need to take this. So if you're like okay, so if I'm gonna double jump down here, I can glide at the end of that. But now if I want to hyper strike, I have to press the D-pad and then hyper strike, because otherwise you like well, I have to press the hover boots. I have to unequip the hover boots. Otherwise it won't work. So yeah, that's all there really is to know about the basic double jump. Now I will mention there is a variant of the double jump where basically you have like both jumps with the acceleration, and it is quite a bit harder. You don't actually need this break, but I do it because it can make some jumps easier. But basically, what you want to do is you still have the basic premise that you can double jump while you're going slow, and then you can turn that into acceleration after that. But the way this works is that you start with an accelerated jump, and then you stop accelerating, you slow down, so that you can do the next jump, and then you accelerate that. Basically, what this looks like is R2, like R2 jump, then jump R2. So, okay, R2X, X R2, R2X, X R2, R2X, X. Now, I mean, okay, if you're struggling with the double jumps, and there are some hard ones, then it is useful to have. So yeah, if you're struggling with the double jumps, then use this. But you can make them all normally, and I mean the normal one's much easier to set up because you know you can just go like that, or you go that, whereas the other ones you have to kind of like it's just more inputs, so you know it's harder. But yeah, that's basically all there is to do with double jump. So the first thing we're going to do now, like I said, is to skip this hoverboot tutorial with a double jump. So basically, you're going to want to come and stand on this rock here, and we're going to try and double jump on top of this and go over it. And this is a tricky one. It's kind of funny that, you know, the first thing you have to do with the hover boots in the run is actually like one of the more tricky double jumps. But I guess it's good practice. So, and this one is particularly one that I think R2 Start does help for. So yeah, if you're struggling with this, you can do it with the R2 on both jumps. But yeah, this one you basically just need to. I mean, like you can't go straight for it because yeah, there's an invisible wall. So you need to like go around basically that invisible wall, and like that's the key to it really. You just need to make sure you're going around rather than just going straight to this. But apart from that, that's all you need to do. Then you just hoverboot down, and now we have this hoverboot test thing. And this is just casual pretty much, because there are these flares scattered around the course that you need to get. One thing here, don't bother doing these X pads, you can just skip them. Apart from that, I think it's all casual. Yeah, there is like you can do something there. I don't know if it's faster. Anyway, just like this basically casual. And once you've done this, you've mastered the hover boots. So that's pretty much the end of Molonoth. We'll be getting one Zoni on the way back, and then we will be going to Axiom. Well, okay, technically we're doing something else first, but yeah. So now we have the Zoni here that we need to chase back to our ship. Now, unlike the Zolar Zoni, you can't just like catch this one and go back to your ship. But we can do one bit. Here, I guess I'll say you can, if you want to, you can like jump over this rail instead of taking it. I probably don't recommend that, especially as a beginner, because it only saves like a second, but it's something to know. And so, now here. Okay, if you're just a beginner, just catch the Zoni and then get in your ship, right? Don't try and do anything. If you're not, though, like if you've been running for a while, then you can try this, where you basically press triangle and then square, and that will cancel the Zoni animation, like this. But yeah, definitely don't attempt that like at first, because if you miss it, then you miss the Zoni. You just have to get another one. Which isn't like too bad. It's just you're gonna lose time here, and like you're definitely gonna lose more time than if you just got the Zoni normally. So okay, now we have 5 Zoni, and now what we need to go to Axiom, and that has a barrier that requires 6 Zoni. Now, as it turns out, you can just skip this barrier entirely. But it's actually faster to get the 6th Zoni anyway, because the 6th Zoni give you thrusters, and the thrusters, well, they let you move faster. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to this moon, over here, Vela Gamma, because this moon has a very fast Zoni, and, yeah, we're just going to get the Zoni so that we have the 6, and kind of coincidentally, it just means that we don't have to skip the barrier for Axiom. And in fact, there are actually there haven't been barrier skips in this run for like probably like at least a year, I think, which is good because they were not good to do. But anyway, what we're gonna do now, you'll see. So there's the Zoni, right? Now if you go straight for that Zoni, it's gonna run away. But it turns out if you go backwards, like you go back behind the ship, and you basically come like around the Zoni, and you're now behind it, well, you can just grab it from behind, and there you go, you have it. So that will be the last Zoni that we're intentionally getting in the run. You're intended to need 21 Zoni to complete the game, but we haven't needed 21 Zoni in, I think, 10 years, actually, so, now that we have that Zoni, where we can use the thrusters, I've just realized I haven't actually explained this yet. It's faster to move by barrel rolling than just moving forward normally. Now this is, like, especially when you don't have the thrusters, like, you know, this is very slow, and I'm holding forward completely, so you want to roll instead of that. But even with the thrusters, you want to, like, not fully roll, but you basically want to be, like, thrusting and rolling, like, on this kind of an angle. Like, you're mostly going forward, but you've still got, like if I was going to this moon here, I'd probably want to do something like this. But anyway, now with that done, we're free to the Thrustmaster 500 to defeat the orbital barrier, and we can land on Arachnis, or Axiom. Now here, there is a route that you can do at the start that World Record doesn't do, but I mean, maybe I'll, like, show it. I definitely wouldn't recommend it. I don't even do it in NG Plus, where it's, like, much more viable. Like, here, yeah, I wouldn't do it. But I guess I'll mention it after I show the normal route. So, the normal route, what World Record does, is basically you come over here. Instead of taking pulling that down and going up around there, you're just gonna come over here, put the swing shot, double jump, and then if you use the swing shot, you'll be able to catch this. And now here we have something that, okay, so this strat, basically, you can only attempt it once. If you miss it, it loses like 20 seconds, but, basically, we want to get this, constructor mod here, because that's a really good mod for the bomb, and the bomb is a lot more easy. Now, technically you can, I'm pretty sure you can, I mean, I think I've got a double jump from here over to here, but it's very difficult. So the strat that we use is basically we're going to come along here, and we're going to swing shot onto a moving platform that will take us right over there. So what that's going to look like is come along here, swing shot, this will start moving away, and make sure you de-equip the hover boots here, because if you have your hover boots equipped, you start falling off. And basically you just fall down onto here, press start to open the menu, because it's a constructor mode. Well, in this case, it opens right onto the menu. and then you want to switch from contact to proximity. What this does is it means that your bombs won't instantly explode, they'll only explode when there's enemies nearby, which is useful. And then here you can, I mean, you can just die here, but you can, I mean, it's your choice. I think I do die, but if you want to, you can also just double jump over here, and then we're going to go, basically continue on the casual route. Now, the route that I was talking about, that you could technically do, that world record doesn't do, at least at the time that I made, is basically you have to like come over here. I don't even remember it. Basically, you like do a strat there to get the constructor mod without using that platform that moves away, and then you use that platform to do another strat called Spaceport Skip. And like, yeah, I won't get into it here, but just know that like maybe by the time you're watching this, the world record does actually do that. But that is just something. So we're going to continue on along the casual route here, and these platforms here can be kind of annoying. Like just there, I had to ledge grab onto this. Sometimes they can kind of screw you over depending on what their timing is. But yeah, just be aware of that. So what we're going to do is we're going to go along here, and now we're going to do this section casually pretty much. So we are going to, well actually this part we're not doing casually, so normally you'd have to go around there and hoverboot all the way over here. You just stand on these chairs, double jump up, and now you're at that place. Okay, I didn't get the boost from the pad there, but I still made it. And yeah, then just activate that. Now here we're gonna, this is gonna be the first use of this Zircon. We are going to put the bomb up the Zircon, and then just kill these enemies basically. This is definitely just a big passive damage dealer, so yeah. Then we're going to enter the transport tube, and we're going to go to the main track, which we'll definitely not be doing casually, because that section casually is like a ton of very long fights. There's you have to hoverboot between areas, we've got to do a lot of stuff, so we are just going to skip all of that. So now, normally here, you would have to do this fight, and you don't want to do that. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to get out of just this area. I can't normally do that. So we're going to come over here to these big signs, and then we want to double jump onto this like small thing. And now this is a bit difficult. You need to like jump onto the right side of this platform, and that should give you the ability to jump again. So you jump and then jump off of that. This is kind of similar to something we'll do very shortly, which is the Hoverboot SI. But yeah, basically, you just need to jump onto that right side of the platform, and you should be able to jump again. So you can jump off the ledge, grab onto this, and now from here we're going to go to here and hoverboot to this next section. Now we've gotten out of that section, but we still need to, we're ultimately trying to get to this thing, right, and go into there. So conveniently we have this tower thing that we can like climb, and we can get to that pretty easily actually. So we're going to stand over here, double jump, and glide over here. We want to ledge grab, well, I guess not ledge grab, onto this. Now, don't try to grab this from the front. If you try to, like, okay, technically it's faster to grab this from the front, but you're almost definitely just going to slide up. So you want to come over here. Don't worry about, like, it looks like I'm going to pull off, but you're actually fine. So you want to double jump and grab this ledge. Okay. Well, don't do that. Okay, so I didn't go far enough right there. I'm gonna double jump, grab this ledge. If you do get like a ledge grab that's really close to that, like what I had before, you can use R2 to like fall off, so that you're making sure that you're not gonna do what I just did. But yeah, ledge grab onto this, and basically you just want to repeat that. You want to double jump, ledge grab onto this, double jump, jump. Might get a. Ideally, obviously, you do these without ledge grabs, but you can also ledge grab onto them. And now that we're at the top of this, I mean, you can go for the second highest, I'm pretty sure, but probably best just to go to the top. You want to face this way, and now you're going to jump onto that big ramp thing. You don't need a double jump for this, it's easily makeable. You can just glide all the way over here, and then boom. And we've skipped that entire section. So now we're in Pollyx Industries, which is also a fairly long section, but we're also going to skip it clear. So what we're going to do is we're going to stand on this screen thing, and basically we want to grab onto this tiny little ledge thing here that'll get us out of bounds. Now that seems like it should be pretty hard, but it's actually not really that bad. You just need to basically just need to not get that. So you want to like I guess you want to like come from the side rather than like if I just jump towards the general direction. Okay, I got it that time. But yeah, you want to like have a more like I guess more against the wall approach, and yeah, so you want to get this ledge grab rather than the one facing the wall, and then pull yourself up. Maybe pull yourself up and go to right a little bit. Well, actually, okay. But you need to pull yourself up there. Pull yourself up, and then kind of immediately want to, well, maybe not immediately. You kind of just want to jump off of this and glide over to that. So that was kind of fast. I'll show that again. So I want to. Basically, what I'm trying to do is that once I pull myself up, I'm basically just going to double jump out of that as fast as I can, going like in the like top left general direction, I guess. So like this, double jump, and glide a bit, and now I've grabbed onto this. You can grab onto this kind of anywhere, and when I grab that, it'll take me up to... I did have an alternate way of doing this that was kind of crazy before, where I like jumped through this, but yeah, I definitely recommend doing this. So now from here, you're going to double jump over to this cabinet, and then you can double jump or just, you can double jump or you can double jump, but you want to get along to here. Now, do note that, I was just about to say, do note that wall is there. If I like fully go on this right side, then I will clip out into that area, which I don't want. So make sure to stay on the left side. Now here, this is a bit of a tricky one. See, we have those two, like, we're trying to get over to that. Right, you can see, you know, on the left side we've got this, on the right side we've got this. But it's not too bad, you just need to, I guess, read those to make sure you're not going too far one way or the other. And then you can land here, and from here it's pretty easy, you just need to jump all the way, and you'll get the cutscene. And now, after skipping two very long sections, we have the very boring section here. These enemies, and then you're actually able to the first proximity mod for the bomb, for the first like actual useful use. Basically, there's a dropship that's about to spawn. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put down as many proximity. Oh, okay, that actually happened a lot faster than I thought. But yeah, normally in a run you put down as many proximity bombs there as you can, and that'll just instantly kill the dropship. You don't have those two guys. Then from there, you just need to just grab that ammo if you can, and then stay like where this like fine thing is that comes out of this shape. I don't know. Like stand around here and avoid the lasers, and it's basically just this for a minute. So I will forward. Okay, so then at the end of the lasers, you'll see they start that autosave comes up. Now you can see azimuth coming around here, and basically once you see him like start to get close, you can jump off and get onto this. And now here we have, I mean, this whole section is like basically an auto scroller up until boss launch. So first of all, you need to dodge these lasers. Once they stop moving, they're going to go around 9 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Just start moving upwards now. 8, 9. And as soon as it hits the 9th one, I know it's going to stop, so I can just press square and then it's basically the same thing, but then the next one is shorter. So wait for these to stop. And then I'm going to stand on the right side here because it's going to go once around. Once. And then it's going to go around again. Twice. And it's going to go around again. 3 times. And go. And the third phase is basically the same as the second. Go around and stop. And on the right side here, it's going to give us full revolution. 1. So I don't need to worry about like down here. Twice. And then 3. So now this is going to launch me back to what's going to launch to this area. And now the first thing I'm going to do is I am actually just going to so basically the reason you do that is because if you don't do that, basically the boss is going to be harder. So you do that to because it will reduce. I think we'll reduce the health of the boss. I haven't actually played this game in a while, but yeah. So you just want to die there, and then what we're going to do is instead of doing this fight, waiting for Azimuth to take us, we're just going to go straight to the boss. So you want to stand somewhere about here. You can stand on like this slightly higher thing. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and glide on this for a decent amount of time. Because so the way this works is that in a lot of Ratchet and Clank games, there's a theme where basically if you're like gliding or falling in the same spot for a while, the game thinks you're stuck. So it'll give you your jump back. So basically, if we glide in place for a few seconds, then we can jump again. And so we can abuse this by gliding in place for a few seconds and jumping again. So here, if I don't die, I am just going to I like to do it from like very close to the lamp, and okay, I did die there. But yeah, I go from like very close to the lamp, like right up against it, and just like hold, I just double jump and like hold like off left, and that works really well for me. You just basically just go like right up against the lamp, double jump, and then like hold towards it, I guess. And then after a few seconds, double jump, and you will be able to grab a ledge. Maybe. Really? Okay, hang on. Maybe I need the tutorial. I'm not really sure why this. Okay, as soon as I dropped, as soon as I paused, I got it immediately. Basically, you just need to go more left. So yeah, just double jump, more to the left, and then you get this ledge grab on, well, looks like nothing, but if you do that, you will actually stand on this invisible surface, and then you can hoverboot up to this visible surface, and basically, you're gonna run around here. You can just walk normally, or you can hoverboot if you want to. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna come around here, and then you can just, I mean, if you're worried about it, you can double jump, like over there, but you can just do a normal jump, and you should make it. It might look like you're not gonna make it, but, like, yeah, there, I just made it useful. So, I put bomb, I put circle on it, and then you're just doing the fight. Now, we do see another use of the proximity mod here. Basically, as soon as you kill all of those things, just keep putting bomb like on the outside of the shield, because as soon as it becomes vulnerable, it's gonna take a ton of damage. So there we go, it's already at halfway. And now it's dead. And that's well, that's Axiom, and that's also the end of the Vela sector. So oh, I didn't explain that. Basically there you have to attach to the swing shot that Azimuth has, but you can also just like just hoverboot jump to the left of it, and it'll hit you.
Copy that.
And
See you there.
now we are going to exit, and we're basically just going to do GC2 Skip. Well, we're going to do the GC Skip again. This one will be a little different if you're on SSD, which I am on in this. But it's still pretty much the same as the GC2 one. Now, we do need to, once this loads, we do need to go to the Pollyx sector, because we have to do this with specifically, well, not necessarily specifically Zolar, but we have to do it in the Pollyx sector, because when you play the leaving sector animation, like right now, you'll notice that you can only skip that in the Pollyx sector. Like, I can't skip this cutscene right now. And that means that GC Skip won't actually work, like if I tried to do it there with, like Axiom. It would just load Axiom normally, because you're, like, you have more time to load. So here, once we spawn in, you'll be away from Quantos, so just turn around, thrust over to Quantos, and we're just going to do the except, so like I said, this is different on SSD. Basically on SSD, because similarly to how I said that it doesn't work in Vela because of loading, like loading too fast, basically what we want to do is we want to make the game not load as fast, I guess. So all we're going to do is we're going to do the exact same GC skip. Before we do it, we're going to open the map and then close the map. And that will start an autosave, which means it'll load a little bit slower than normal. And you can see once you get the like that Insomniac Moon, then you'll, well, assuming you've landed on Quantos, you should be good, because now we've entered GC3, so it'll now take us to Zolar. And just a reminder that if you don't have the cutscenes removed, that won't be like that Insomniac Moon, that'll be a cutscene. And from here, it's just the normal GC skip, so we're going to leave Zolar, we're going to go to GC, well, we're going to go to the Korthos sector, and then we'll be in the Korthos sector. So the Korthos sector is where things get really interesting, because there are 4 planets in the Korthos sector, and we start by doing the second one, and then we do the 4th one, and then we skip the 4th sector. So, basically, I mean, before any of that, we need to fight the boss that's the ship boss that's at the start of the Korthos sector, Libra. So yeah, you'll have to do that first. Then after that, we'll start doing some interesting things. So, this is Libra. Basically, I guess the way I do it is I like click to the left side first, and you know, I get down to the first phase, and then after that I don't really have any set pattern. I usually come to like this area to get some with the shift. You can also like ram into the shift, but that's not always something that's viable, but you can do that. Second phase, Libra. Shift. Do keep an eye on your health. It's not usually a problem, but it can be if you're playing it a bit risky. Yeah, actually I got down to 40 there, so. Yeah, as you can see, the enemies do drop power-ups once you get a rapid fire damage. You can't really control that, it's kind of random, but generally you'll need to get, like, at least one. That was actually probably, like, the worst that you could get, really, aside from just not getting any. But now, what we do is, normally here, you would want to go to, Lumos, or Coal Canyon, the planet that's in front of us, the planet that apparently we defeated Libra to reach. But you can actually turn around and go to the Agorian Battleplex right now. And you can complete it, like, you can complete it completely fine. No casual would really do that because the game's telling you to go to Lumos, but you can just do this planet now. And you might be wondering how that helps us, but there's another planet. So, okay, right now in this sector, you have Lumos, well, okay, you have Krell, which we call Lumos, Tombly, and the Agorian Battleplex. Now, Tombly you can't do right now, but you can do Lumos, and, you can do Krell and the Agorian Battleplex. Now, after you do all three of those, Vorselon 2 will appear, as in, like, the second visit of Vorselon's ship. But it turns out the thing that... So, completing those three planets is what makes Vorselon appear, but it's not the thing that turns Vorselon into Vorselon 2. For that, you only need to beat the Battleplex. So, basically, if you could find a way to get to Vorselon without, like, Vorselon actually appearing, then you could skip Krell and Tombly. And as a matter of fact, we do have that, and it is the save that I mentioned, like, a while ago. But for the moment, we do just need to beat the Battleplex, so we're just going to do that. Now, there's not a whole lot to the Battleplex. The main thing is you want to, like, it's another useful new proximity mode. See, I can place these bombs before the enemies spawn, so I can hit waves quickly. Yeah, that's actually good. You just want to put out a ton of bombs and then just kill whatever's left there. In this first challenge, the waves will end like instantly as soon as you rent them. In the second challenge, though, it's a bit weirder. There's like a like few seconds where it just doesn't between you actually like killing everything and it's saying the wave's completed. Unless you can do it really fast, then it does do it instantly. Now, okay, I will mention there is something that you can do here called 1-2 stack. I don't do it. I probably should really, but like if you don't know what you're doing, then your game will crash. And you also can like it saves time, but it's like it's hard to execute. But basically, I mean I can explain arena stacking now anyway because we do that. But when you enter when you enter the tournament, you can open and close the menu, and you'll see that press triangle to enter tournament button. That's still up there. So what you can do actually is you can press triangle to enter the tournament, then open and close the menu, then press it again, now you can choose a challenge, and then as soon as that starts, it'll tell you to choose another one. Now I'm going to die now because I don't want to do 1-2 stack. Basically what you do is you do this, which is like a combination of the first and the second challenge, and then when you beat that, you'll have to kill the leftover enemies from the second challenge in the third challenge, which takes a while. And like, yeah, I might just like, yeah, I don't know, it's something you can do, but I wouldn't recommend. What I would recommend is just do the challenges normally, up until the 4th challenge. Then we do an arena stack, very useful, but apart from that, just do these challenges normally. So challenge 2, pretty much the same as challenge 1. Like I said, like right now, see, I've killed all the enemies, but only now because they were complete, so that's just one thing that's different. If you do kill all of the enemies like as soon as they spawn, you can get it to move on very quickly, but it's pretty hard to do that. Get a Zoni as a reward for this challenge, but that doesn't matter. The next challenge reward does definitely matter though, and it is easy to forget, but very important. So now for this challenge, it's very different to the first two, but all you have to do is, these guys are going to shoot bombs at you. You need to catch the bombs, or pick them up after they're throwing them, and then shoot them. So what I did there was I waited for the guy to shoot another bomb while I still had the bomb, so that I could use that next bomb to kill the next guy. Because so they shoot bombs. Like the first time they spawn, they shoot bombs a lot. They take a lot longer to shoot a bomb than once they've already spawned. So basically, you want to like I'm keeping this guy alive so I can use their bombs to shoot the other guys. And also with these shield guys, don't take off the shield immediately. Wait for them to shoot and then take off the shield, because otherwise they'll do the stagger animation where they want to shoot a bomb. And I'm at 1 health. Yeah. And there we go. Now, as I mentioned, the reward for this challenge is important, so make sure you remember to equip this. So here we will get the shrapnel mod for the bomb, and this is really good because it basically like multiplies your damage by like about 2.5 times. You'll see that in the 5th challenge here, because we can kill the boss very quickly. Now, here we are going to do arena stacking. There's no like reason not to do this one. So you're going to go triangle, open and close the menu, triangle, and now you want to select the 2nd challenge, followed by the 4th challenge. Now you see this has this really weird layout because it's got like both the challenges stacked on top of each other. You want to kill these guys up here, and then the challenge might already complete. If not, yeah, okay, there you go, the challenge complete. If not, just go over to those guys on the other side. But generally, that challenge is very quick, and it's much faster than doing the challenge. In any percent, we don't use arena stacking for anything else unless you want to do 1-2 stack. but it's very useful for the categories that have to do all the arena challenges. Now we do the final challenge normally. You'll notice there are still some things left over from the arena that we just did, but it doesn't matter. So for these first the waves, and then we have the boss, which, as I mentioned, with the shrapnel mod, it looks very cool. Yeah, then once the bolts start, then there is a thing where sometimes it'll end very quickly, but it's pretty good. So now what we do is we want to kill this guy, and ideally you get a 1 cycle, like this, where you kill the boss before you can go away and spawn in. So now what we want to do is, once we get this negotiator, you can load your previous file, the one from ages ago, because now we've completed the Battleplex. So this means that, like I was saying before, Vorselon has now become Vorselon 2. So that means that if we had access to Vorselon, it would be in the Vorselon 2 state. And turns out we can actually get access to Vorselon. Because this save was created during the run, we can load it. Right? Because, you could do this from a fresh copy of ACE that you just bought today, right? So we can load this file. What we can do is, similarly to the GC skips, you want to press triangle to land, and then open. This time, don't open the map, but open the menu. And now we want to load that save that's on the Battleplex, because now this save is going to be taken to Vorselon, and because we finished the Battleplex, it'll be Vorselon 2. And so now technically we still haven't skipped Chumley and Krull. That'll come after we finish Vorselon 2, but now we are on Vorselon 2, which we're not supposed to be on yet. And you'll notice that here, I'm going to spawn in kind of a weird place. This is the place that you would spawn on Vorselon 1. And funnily enough, that actually doesn't have anything to do with the minute that we just did. That's because we didn't properly kill Vorselon on Vorselon 1. We just got to the the checkpoint, and then we loaded. So now if I were to die now, then it would take you to the Vorselon 2 spawn point. And I will demonstrate what happens if you die, because that is definitely something that will happen, and you will need to back it up. But firstly, I'll just show what you want to do from here. So we're actually going to do something very similar to the start of Vorselon 1, except now we have hoverboots. So you can hoverboot jump off this whole thing. Again, we are going to do this exact same out of bounds that we did before. We're going to jump up here, right here, ourselves through, and double jump up here. Again, we want Ratchet's foot to be like, I guess probably like on the edge of the second pipe, I guess I should have said before. But yeah, like if Ratchet's foot is like around the second pipe, then you're probably going to make it. His left foot. Now here, you don't actually have to do the, you don't actually have to do this normally. What you can do, well, the same way as Vorselon 1, what you can do is you can double jump and then hold the hover boots, and then you can jump out of that, or you can just have it straight. But that makes it much easier. So if you struggle with the out of bounds of Vorselon 1, don't worry, it's not as hard here. And now we are going to go to the same place as we did before, but instead of just dropping down here, what we're going to do is we're going to go a little further. And basically, we're just going to hover boot jump into the abyss, like about here. So like this, and what we're trying to get. Okay, so basically, we want to land like in. Yeah. and you might need to rewatch that video. Might need to rewatch that to see where I was actually going. I can't do that again. But yeah, you want to land in this like magnetic area thing, because now, so that thing that's now flashing with the R2 and square, that is one of the three node things that we have to do. Now, this one is supposed to require the Omni Soaker, and in fact, a lot of things in this game are supposed to require the Omni Soaker, but we haven't been to Krell, we haven't got the Omni Soaker, so we have to do this to skip the Omni Soaker. And basically, now that we're in this magnet, what you want to do is you want to line up, like, so you want to be on the right side of these lasers first of all, because otherwise when you try to, like, go out of this, you're gonna pop up on that side, and then you won't be able to get out. So you want to be on this side of the lasers first of all, but you also still want to be under the ground, because otherwise you won't be able to pull out the node. So now that you're underground, you want to firstly see if you can attach. If I was like here, I wouldn't be able to, but never mind, maybe I can. But yeah, so you want to attach to this, and then you want to pull it out carefully, because, to pull this out, you're going to need to hold the left stick. Okay, I've never thought about that. I just realized you can hold the right stick for that. And then that's actually fine, because now I'm not going to move, I'm still going to be in this position. So, okay, I guess do that, hold the right stick. I was going to say, if you hold the left stick, then you have a danger of, like, accidentally, as soon as it comes out, like, walking backwards and forward. But yeah, just hold the right stick. So now from here, we need to get out of here. We want to, like I said, we want to get out on the right side. So you're just going to basically walk up this, and there you go, you're out. So now you can, basically now you would go around here, like around here, and you would do the other two nodes, which are fine, you don't need all of them. But I'm going to show what happens if you mess up any part of that. So if you mess up and you die on the Vorselon start location, then either if you have pulled out the node or if you haven't pulled out the node, you're going to have to do this. So now you spawn at the real location, the proper Vorselon 2 start, and now we're going to have to do an old strat that was used before that strat. So basically, you want to come up around here, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to hop onto that, hop onto that, hop onto that, and then there we'll get out of bounds. And that's what it looks like. You want to hyper strike onto this, stand on this, but you need a hyper strike in the middle. This one is kind of hard to get, but yeah, you want to hyper strike in the middle of this. Then once you double, you want to double jump and then land on top of this yellow thing. And then from there, you need to like hoverboot onto this thing, which doesn't look like it's possible to hoverboot onto that, but you can actually. And it's actually not that hard. You just need to hoverboot onto the wall, and then yeah, you'll stand on this. That doesn't really look to be able to. Now from there, we are going to get out of bounds. Okay. As you can see, this can be a bit tricky. Really? Okay. Okay. So now we want to hop. We want to get over here, because here the ceiling will basically the ceiling will be at Ratchet's like chest, so it's just gonna like push him through the ceiling like this. So yeah, see Ratchet basically walking into this, and okay, well, yeah, so you want to get up there, and then I'll show you. Okay, so from here we're going to do a pretty big double jump, and yeah, that's pretty much it. So you want to face this way, and double jump. So you can, if you want to, you can like stand on here and then like do another double jump if that makes it easier. Basically, what you want to do is you want to land under this square kind of thing, Hyper Strike. That is pretty tricky, but the main thing is you want to, you don't want to like hit the square because then you'll kind of get like pushed back a little bit and you probably won't make it. You kind of want to like just like come in under it. And the reason for that, because we can go up here, notice the Vorselon'S here. So, and now we have this ramp here. And it turns out you can actually, if you like side flip into a ramp and hyper strike, you can actually get a ton of speed. And it's pretty funny, this isn't actually used in anything anymore, even though it's a really cool glitch. But basically what you want to do, you want to do exactly that. You want to side flip and then hyper strike and then get something like that. So now, okay, if you, so there are two things that can happen with the like the original strat. So basically, if you failed the original strat, but you still pulled out the node, so like you pulled out the node and then you died after, then you're actually pretty fine. Here you can just drop down and like you can just drop down below, follow those lasers and go into the thing. If, however, you fail the strat, but you if you failed the strat, but you didn't pull out the node, then here, if you got lucky enough and you got a like a hyper strike into the ramp that got you enough height, then you can actually do the strat normally. You can glide all the way over to the node, and into that like magnetic area thing, and you can just do the strat from there. But in this example, I did not get enough for that. So what you would have to do is, okay, so you would have to also just drop down here, and then get this cutscene.
What are you doing?
And then you would have to do another another ramp hyper strike thing, and you have to do that here. And oh, okay, that was pretty good. So basically, you would bring yourself all the way to here, and would then, yeah, okay, so that makes sense. And yeah, now you're in here, and then yeah, you would just pull the thing out like normal, come out of here, and now you have it. So yeah, obviously, of course, you don't want to fail this, but if you do, it's not unrecoverable. So now, here, regardless of how you got here, you can continue the rest of the nodes. So, what we're going to do is we are going to hyper strike. We're going to hoverboot onto that red platform there, which will bounce us over here, and then, okay, that's kind of funny. Yeah, let's back up. That's probably because, I mean, yeah, that would be because of, I did it. So, where is it? Here. Okay, yeah. So now, from here you would go to this node. Now, there are two ways to do this node. You can do this node normally, and just like, I mean, it's pretty casual. You just go through the, you can just go through all of the ramps, and then you get to the end, and then, actually, once you pull it out, you want to die, because that will bring you back here faster. But you can, if you want to, you can do a, one of these, and if you get a good enough one, then you can get this like that, and that's a but yeah, I would recommend just doing it normally, because probably won't get it immediately, So yeah, I would after that one, there's just one more node. Now here, what you want to do is firstly you want to hoverboot after this because faster and more all the way up that. Then you want to actually fall off of this, or well actually, you probably want to like, double jump off of this and land on this thing. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to hoverboot over to this. So that will be like this. And now you now you're going to try and hoverboot like from here, like over this. You want to grab like there's a ledge over there, and it is pretty tricky. You probably will miss it, but like it's not too bad. So it'll be like that, and basically you just need to thread the needle. The issue is the issue is this thing. Like you can get caught on that very easily and then fall. But if you make it, then you just go along here and you run like this, and then
Gamma deactivated.
now if you do miss it, then you'll also spawn here. Don't bother like trying. Don't bother like falling off this and trying again. Just go around the normal way. Just like, yeah, do it carefully if you miss it. Once you've got it though, then you can fall off this. You'll fall back down here, and then you're free to say.
The release lever's exposed. Come on.
Now, one thing to do here is go into inventory, change your constructor bomb to contact, because here you want the bombs to explode instantly. You don't want them to be like waiting kind of. But yeah, here just double jump and throw bombs and just look at that. Because there are enemies above you, and there's small enemies, and that's pretty good. Now, get into the elevator. If you're fast enough, like I was there, then Azimuth you won't have to wait for Azimuth. Sometimes though, if you are slow, then you will need to wait for Azimuth to join you. If the door is, like, if the elevator door is not closing, and the other door is closed, then just, like, go kill the whatever enemies left and have them to get Azimuth. But then, swing shots, hold on here. Now, once you hit this checkpoint, if you did have Azimuth with you, then you're free to just keep going. If you don't though, then okay, well you probably want to die, because if you don't die, then you won't be able to use the turret in this section. However, so again, it's probably better to not use the turret here, especially for low on XP. So ideally, you probably don't. Like ideally, you probably just need to fight bomb, maybe negotiate it. But I don't do that in World Record. I probably should. But especially for like it's not a big difference basically. You can do this fight with bomb if you want. It's probably a bit faster, especially with XP. But if you don't want to, it's fine. Just do this fight normally, and then we're done Vorselon 2. And once you kill all 4 of these like big guys, that's good. Now, make sure you press triangle like during that fight out, because that'll keep the penalty kind of. And yeah, that's Vorselon 2. So now what we're gonna do is okay. So when we come back here, you'll notice that Vorselon's ship doesn't go away, which is interesting. It is. Probably should go away, right? But it turns out if I land here, then because I've completed Vorselon 2, this will actually be Vorselon 3. And Vorselon 3 is a post-game section. So it'll actually put me in the post-game sector, the Corvus sector, which is the sector that Gimlick is in, which is the third planet of Long. So that's what lets us actually skip Toonwee, and Krell. Now, however, it turns out that... I just noticed that, what? Okay, there's my ship there. It turns out that if you don't go to Krell, then you won't be able to unlock the Plasma Striker. And Plasma Striker, as it turns out, is a weapon that... So at the start I said there were no version differences that mattered, and that's true. But that's because of the Plasma Striker. Because there's a platform on Nefarious Space Station that on PAL it takes 34 seconds to move, and on NTSC it takes 18 seconds to move. So that's a 16-second time save for NTSC. But with the Plasma Striker, you can actually make it so that that time doesn't count towards the in-game timer. So it actually doesn't matter. Sorry, actually doesn't matter. But you need to go to Krell to get the Plasma Striker. So basically, all of this, it's a long way to say that you can land on Vorselon here, and if you're a beginner, I probably would just recommend that, because it like, especially if you're playing on NTSC, it's like a 2-second difference. But what I do, like what's optimal to do, is to land on Krell, and then basically once Krell loads, you load your save from earlier, and then you use that to go to Vorselon again. So, like, yeah, it's really not a big difference. Like for PAL, it's like an 18-second difference, which it does matter for world record, but for everything else, not really. So, I land on Krell, and then as soon as I've landed on Krell, I load my original save. I probably should have, when I was doing that, I probably should have made sure I saved like the original save, because now this is on Vorselon, so I'm gonna have to use Vorselon. But anyway, yeah, really, you should just Vorselon, basically. Okay, so now we land on Vorselon and then load our Krell save, and now we've unlocked the Plasma Striker, basically. So it was like a 14-second detour to unlock the Plasma Striker, rather than just going straight to Vorselon. Well, okay, 14 seconds being again. But anyway, now we're on Vorselon 3, and like I said, this is in the Corvus sector. You can talk to the back. And also Clank's here. He's just here now. So, yeah. Because the game doesn't expect you to get to... Well, it's actually for both of the Corvus sector planets, for both Vorselon 3 and Gimlick. If you get there without Clank, the game goes, that's really weird, you should have Clank by now, and just gives you Clank, because it assumes something's gone wrong. Which is convenient for us, because Clank does actually provide some very useful tech. But anyway, we're going to leave Vorselon, and yeah, out on the Corvus sector. So now we can go to Gimlick, and yeah, we just skipped Krell and Tubal. So this will play an unskippable cutscene, which, like, we have them removed, but we'll play an unskippable cutscene, just like going to Gimlick normally, and then we'll be on Gimlick. So we start this in the past of Gimlick, but then most of it is... Wait, other way around. Start this on the phone.
We do not have a lot of time.
So, what we're going to do, instead of going like all the way around there, we are going to detour across
There's no
here,
time to
because
contact
we jump out of
galactic
this water,
authorities.
so
That means it's up to us.
deal.
Come on.
We're
There's
gonna
gotta
go
be
for this guy. Cutscenes.
Chief Zon Gribnak was. No, if only Zon had been here to defend us against our.
And then that's all we have
Guess
to do
you
present.
can't change the past.
Now we go to the past. And firstly, we are going to pick up a Druiditron, as well as black ammo. If you, I mean, okay, technically you can like
If you find
get
yourself
the
overwhelmed
buzzblades,
by.
but yeah, like that's not a real. Just and here, basically we want to get
We are
around
here to assist.
that section. So you can
Stay behind me, kid.
either just go
We'll save him.
straight there like this, but I mean, okay, as I just demonstrated, that's probably not the best idea. It loses like a second, and it's much safer to just go here, and then okay, so now we want to use the Brugachar against these guys, and basically here what we're going to do is we're going to both level up. Basically, we want to level up the bomb, the negotiator, and the so now bomb we definitely want to get to V5. Negotiator, here we probably want to get it to V2. So what we're going to do is negotiator, bomb. Basically, we're just going to be alternating between negotiator and bomb. Like one. And you'll notice, okay, so sometimes if you get two level up animations at the same time, even though you have weapon upgrade animations off, you still give it to you. But yeah, basically, we are just leveling up. Actually, I guess leveling up pretty good. Anyway, but yeah, we've got a decent amount of XP for Negotiator. As you can see, it levels up very quickly here. And we'll also get a bit of Negotiator XP here. Well, actually, okay, first of all, what we're going to do is we are going to swap this back to proximity. For the same reason as the VX99 on Axiom. These Hydra Tanks, basically we can put proximity bombs on them during their invulnerability phases, and so once they become vulnerable, they will take a bunch of damage. Something that I also do is go into game options, switch the difficulty, and then switch it back to casual. This is because, so this game has adaptive difficulty, which means as you play it, basically, if you're doing really well, it becomes harder. So, in theory, I don't actually know if this is true, but in theory, by resetting the difficulty, you've reset the adaptive difficulty, and so it'll make it easier. But yeah. So once you've done that, now we have two goals in mind here. So like I was saying, we are going to get some more negotiator XP. So what I'm going to do is I am basically going to switch them to negotiator while I'm fighting these tanks, and just kill any guys in the back, especially while the shields are up, or while I'm not doing anything. You'll also notice these guys are very annoying, because this is definitely the worst fight. I mean, this is the worst fight in the game, because the enemies are constantly stopping you from actually pulling out the things on the Hydra Tanks, and it's just... and there I think I managed to get negotiated to V4. That's what I did. That's very much, you can't really, you can't do any better than that. You're not going to get it to V5. So, that's very good. So, now that we've cleared the Hydra Tanks, we need to plant seeds. So, we're going to come here, grab one seed, plant it, and then we're going to immediately go back to that one, grab another seed, jump across here, plant it in this garden, then we're going to here, and we're going to pull down, grab this seed, plant it in the basket. And then that's all. These seeds start growing. Actually, stand on them like that. Um, and now we have. So you're intended to go into the present and ride this vine, but actually we can just skip it. So what we're going to do is go into the present and go into the past. You need to do that because otherwise otherwise it won't trigger properly. And now what we're going to do is we are going to do a triple jump. So I mentioned before that Clank actually has some useful tech, and well, this is it. So basically, a triple jump is actually very easy to do. All you have to do is jump twice with the hoverboot, and then you're going to basically going to press swing shot and do a high jump with Clank at the same time. So a high jump, you don't know. I mean, it's kind of easy to not know about the Clank movement in this game, so, but you need to hold R2 and do and press F. Right, so you want to press R2 and X at the same time, basically. So so to do a triple jump, you just need to double jump and then press swing shot, R2 and X all at the same time. Double jump, there we go, triple jump. So it's not too difficult. It can be like a little annoying to get the timing, but like once you've got it, it's really not that difficult. And yeah, so what we're going to do is we are just going to do a triple jump up here, and now that we're up here, we can just hoverboot onto the end of this vine, and then we will be at the end of the vine. So now we just have the fight with Argos. So now we are going to switch for the final time. We'll switch the bomb back to contact, and here. So this fight can be pretty hard initially. The way I do it, I basically use bomb and negotiator interchangeably as much as I can. But if you're like just starting runs, you probably want to play it a bit safer. You can't use the Groovatron on Argos, so it can be hard. You can die. So I would probably just use negotiator more so if you're struggling, basically. But yeah, what I do is I get bomb, I get Zircon, I get negotiator, and basically I just throw everything I can at him, and I take a bunch of shots from Armor 2, and yeah, I basically just while he's under here, I also throw bombs, and so like your first runs, don't play it this risky. Just use negotiator more so, like, stand back, and then, you know, if you're getting the hang of it, then you can try going for, like, doing as much damage. And now when he comes back, I will be able to kill him fully before he even shoots anything. There we go. But yeah, when you're good at it, it's actually, pretty, I mean, I actually quite enjoy this fight, but it can be quite challenging. And now we just need to go back into present, which is now been changed, even though, like, that's kind of the point of the game is don't change it, but, you know, what's up, I guess. So now we need to get 3 battery bots to power up our ship, and the battery bots we're going to get are, we just get this one because it's nice and close. Well, I mean, all of them are nice and close. Okay, so the one thing about throwing things, if I just throw this, like, from here, then you notice I won't be able to move when I throw it. But now I'll get this one, this is the second one to get. If I throw this while in the air, I can actually move on. So you kind of want to do that, I guess, because you just have more movement. But yeah, it really doesn't matter. Basically, you just get the one over there, and then the one like there, power it up, and then we can apparently return to the Nefarious space station. We haven't actually been there yet. Yeah, that's it for Giveaway. So now we have the Nefarious space station, and this will actually, because we haven't done the first visit of Nefarious yet, this will actually be the first visit. We don't get to skip that. But yeah, so here we do the first visit and also the second visit. And then after that's just azimuth. And yeah, so we're almost near the end of the game now. So here we have quite a difficult double jump. This would definitely be the hardest double jump. And so basically, normally when you come here, you would have done Vapedia, right? Which is kind of that we haven't done in like 10 years. And doing Vapedia means that you would have 2 swing shot targets, like taking you over to that platform there. But of course we haven't done Vapedia, so how are we going to get over there? Well, we have to go over to this rock here, right? It's like the second one, so not this one here, and not these ones over here, but like the second one from this traffic pole. And basically we're going to double jump over there. Now, there isn't actually really anything other than the standard double jump about this. So, like when okay, so basically, this is hard, okay? So, like, it is just a double jump, right? You just glide over here, then hyperstrike onto this, but it will take some time. It's pretty difficult. There isn't really any sort of trick to it other than just getting good at your double jumps. It is good for practicing double jumps, but you will have to spend some time on this, basically. I will say, there is an alternate strat you can do for this that I did a long time ago. I don't know how I did it, because I think it's, like, now I think it's way harder, but if you want to try, you can, like, jump onto the traffic pole, and there's only, like, a certain, like, you can't just, like, jump onto it and then get, like, a hoverboot jump out of it. You have to, like, I don't even know anymore. Like, basically, there's a way that you can get a hoverboot jump out of it. So, like, you can double jump off that. But, yeah, I would recommend just practicing this, basically. And, like I mentioned when explaining the double jumps originally, you can try using the R2 start. I do R2 start for this one. But, yeah, at the end of the day, this is just a hard trick, and you will probably just practice it. But once you get it, and here, this, and basically you're just following the casual path here to the end of this bit. You can skip that first swing shot, actually, so that's one thing. But apart from that, it's pretty simple. This platform, and now we have an auto scroll. So this next section is like a 1-minute section where basically you can't do anything. If anyone would like to skip this, it's like one of the few things that still, like, in theory, maybe you could skip it. Like, we don't have any ways that you could skip it, like any theories about it, but it's like, it's something that in theory could be skipped if you can somehow clip out of it. You can, with a triple jump, like, get on top of these walls here, but that doesn't really help with it. And of course, I guess to show this, you can do this. So, apart from that, there really isn't anything about this thing. The next sections, though, they are quite interesting, because there's, like, quite a bit of long combat that you're intended to do, but we can just skip it all, like, very quickly. So, the first thing we're going to do is we are going to go to this left wall, and we're going to do a triple jump up to this, like, corner, right? So you want to ledge grab onto that corner. It's basically just a triple jump up there, and the ledge grab can be a little tricky, But yeah, like that won't work. You have to kind of like right in the corner. But if you are right in the corner, then it's difficult. Then this like barrier thing will be up. But you can just triple jump over it, it's fine. Then we want to go over here. We want to go all the way over to this, like, the end of this section. I would recommend bringing out the Graviton so the enemies aren't attacking you. And then what you want to do is pretty similar to the first clip. You want to triple jump up here into the corner and grab that. Then from there, you will need to jump over that door there. But now you're in the final room, so is first of all, don't die here. And then basically you need to like double jump out here, and then you get the pump to the air vent, and then you can vent. So now you're Nefarious. So call Lawrence first of all. And then when the option comes up, say send down the elevator. You can wait on this cutscene a little while because then the elevator will be fully down by the time you exit.
When we get to the hub,
Minor
I'll distract the
game time
guards while
save.
you gain access to the hypernova
But yeah, you just want to get
defense
into the elevator.
Got it. How do I do that?
I'm not 100% on that
So
one, but I'm sure you'll
then,
get something. Just remember, keep it on the low.
this section is like pretty slow. It's a pretty
Avert
casual
your
section.
eyes from the exalted one. Nothing to see
Here, make sure you do kill both of these guards, because like, it's any percent you don't want to be fighting a whole lot of stuff, so kill them now as well. Those like kills can be kind of annoying, like sometimes you press circle and it doesn't do anything. But yeah, make sure you do kill both of those, and then come over to this guy. So,
Nefarious.
yeah.
You didn't have to come all the way over
Some unskippable dialogue
The
here.
hypernova defense laser is
Just
quite
select the
capable
first
of
option.
clearing the debris. Say,
Thumbs up,
would you like to test it out? The controls are your...
and then you can skip that like last one. Now, kill this guy before you go in, and then here what we want to do is we want to destroy 9 asteroids. So that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
Don't worry, sir. That component is completely replaceable.
there we go. And then exit. Then call Lawrence again, talk to him, and tell him to order the fleet plan. Then you just destroy the fleet, and you're done with that section. And so the last bit of Nefarious 1 is just a combat section. So get rid of these guys, then once this, like, these guys start to spawn, throw out a Graviton because they'll try and run away. So throw out a Graviton and then just spam bombs at them. Then for the next... Once they're dead, this section starts to spawn and you want to use the Negotiator on them. And then want to be mindful about not letting those small enemies come up to the enemy. But apart from that, it's pretty simple combat. And once we're at the save point, there we go, we are done. So now, open and close the menu here. Well, I mean, okay, you probably don't need to, but I'm paranoid. But then, once you've got the save point, you just load your save, and this, since we've now completed Gimlick, we already did that, and Nefarious 1, we will now be in Nefarious 2, which is the second last part of the game. And there we go. There's Nefarious 2. So what we're going to do, if you bother to go get the Plasma Striker, then we'll buy it here. And I'll show you how to use the thing. So basically what you want to do is you want to stand on this, you know, hold look mode, and then you want to like press
Lawrence must have
try
flown
and
back
activate
here
it.
to pick up.
Now, basically, what this means is now you can move on this platform, but this platform will also move while you're in the quick select. So now if I unpause the quick select, see, you know, I've suddenly moved.
We
So basically what you want to do is you want to set this up, and then you just need to hold the quick select for 34 seconds. If you're on PAL, if you're on NTSC, it's and then basically you get to do this whole ride without it counting towards the end.
leave for the great
That's pretty much it.
clock.
So now you arrive here. So what we want to do here is we want to go over there, and then basically, I mean, we're basically just doing a casual park, but you kind of need to. The section can be pretty annoying. It's very easy to get stuck on stuff and die. So what you want to do is, first of all, I mean, okay, you can use this swing shot if you want.
Killing sequence is at 64% complete.
Yeah, okay. I remember the swing shot being bad, but yes. So okay, yeah, use that swing shot, and then you want to avoid the red platforms here. Come over here and try and weave your way through these enemies. And once you've done that, you're pretty safe. And control. And here I do equip. I mean, not equip. I do switch my difficulty back and forth. Again, it probably makes it easier. So, and it doesn't take any game time. You know, as well.
Been waiting a long time.
So now it's just the Nefarious Fight. And what we want to do for the Nefarious Fight is basically Groovatron him, and then use Bomb, pretty much. So, equip Zircon, Groovatron, you want him to be, okay, yeah, that's good, you want him to be low rather than high, because you're going to use single jump to throw your bombs, which I probably don't need to yeah, I can do that. So, now though, you do skip these Hoverboot sections. So for the first one, it's actually pretty simple. What you want to do, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the like ramps, and then once you get to this like black line here, you want to cross it, and then yeah, cross it, and then just come back. Right, so you want to go through, you want to go past 5. Right, so I show that again. You want to go past 5 ramps or 5 boosts, and then turn back into the back. Oh, okay. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, you want to go do 5 boosts, then turn around and just keep going back. So now, next one again, Zircon. Okay. Okay. What? Oh. Normally you would. Oh yeah, okay, I just forgot. Okay. Sorry, it just messed me up because it's dying. But yeah, normally after that, so after you do that Hoverboot section, you'll have to use Negotiator on the Ferris, then use Negotiator on the enemies, because it'll be far away. And then here you want to Groovatron, and well, what I hope is low, because here we're trying to do ships. You see those ships in the background? Basically, if you can get Nefarious down to his next health section fast enough, which I just did then you won't have to fight those ships. So, you really want to get that. Now, for this one, we do something pretty similar, but it is a bit different. So, you want to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 boosts again, then turn around. Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps, and then here, turn around, and you want to jump over this bit and land here. So that can be a little tricky at first. It's not exactly, like, it's not easy to see what's actually happening there. But basically, you want to go to the same point that you did for the first one. But then you want to jump back and then jump over. Now here, this will land here, and so you just need to either when it's coming, you can just like high jump, or you can double jump or whatever. You just need to get onto it. So now, last phase of Nefarious. So first of all, okay, should explain this. So basically what I'm going to do is I am going to run against like the direction that the laser's going. And then as soon as the lasers stop, I'm going to throw a Groovitron forward. Okay. And hopefully... Nice, okay. So I got Nefarious stuck really low on the ship. And that's good because now the laser is just going to destroy it. So that's... So you want to do that, basically. Now, if you don't get that, it's fine. You know, you can just kill them normally. But that's just something that I like. It's good to do. But yeah, I just like run the opposite direction to where the laser's going, and then I throw a Groovitron as soon as it's done. And that usually works pretty well. Now we have the only other Clank section in the run. This is very straightforward. You just need to run forward. Make sure you remember how to use the Chronoceptor. Throw a time bomb here with R1. Time bomb here. Then keep going. And then this last guy, you need to reflect the bullet back to make the platform. One thing I guess to note is that you can, like when you swing the Chronoceptor, you can like cancel it with a jump, so that like it saves like half a second. But yeah. So now here you can so like here you're going into the Ratchet Rail section, right? So there is a thing here we can hold our L1, right? And I'll just show it here first of all. Basically, you hold L1, you get off the rail. And so then you want to like, basically, it's like you need to, I'll try and show it again. I don't recommend doing it, especially, like, I mean, I don't even do it in World Record. It's like a 6-second time save, and it's right at the end of the run. Oops. But I will just show it here, just show you, like, how it is done. So, hold L1, get off the rails, then you want to jump to back here, jump down to here, and, yeah, that saves it. So now, regardless of whether you did it or not, I will just say here, make sure that you don't bother doing this. I don't bother doing that, just like, just like do it normally. Like,
I'm sorry, Ratchet. I've come too far to fail now. General, what are you doing? Correcting a mistake. The wombats
again,
are
go
coming
just
with or without your help.
make sure you have a couple of from here, and then just go.
Try this.
Ratchet, look out!
Now here there is another, like, this is a 1-second time save you can do where you go like this. I'm just gonna say flat out, do not do that. Like, in any run, just don't go for that.
I'm sorry, Ratchet. I've come too far to fail now. Correcting a Try this.
Ratchet, look out!
So yeah, like it saves like a second, especially it's very dumb. You can also, like, there's another thing where you skip these X pads, but yeah, like the first trick on the rail is like maybe you can go for that if you want to, and the other two like would be very smooth. Yeah. But yeah, now we are at the last part of the game, the final boss. So here, basically what you want to do is walk backwards. So we want to lure Azimuth over here because there's an ammo crate here. Equip Zircon, equip Bomb, equip Libra Fight, and then basically once Azimuth comes over here, you want to throw the Groovitron. And now so you want to stand in the direction that Azimuth is walking. He like look, he's like actually walking moving here. And that's good because it gets like all of the shrapnel hit it. So yeah, kind of cool. And yeah, that is basically it. So do that again. over here for Neutron, this way going, that way, so there. And you should be getting ammo for the Armageddon close enough to it, right? Yes, again. And there we go. So timing technically ends here on the black screen, but it really doesn't matter because it's timed in in-game time. But yeah, that is Ratchet and Clank, the Crack in Time episode. So now what you're gonna do is skip these cutscenes, and then there'll be a cutscene now with Vorselon talking, and then after that you want to check your in-game time because that's how the game is timed, and that's it. So yeah, so yeah. Depending on when you're watching this, I probably have other tutorials for. I mean, I should have other tutorials for other games, but I might also have other tutorials for other categories of this game. Also, make sure if you are interested in running the game, please do join the Ratchet and Clank Speedrunning Discord, because you know that's where everybody is. So yeah, so I will just show now how to check your in-game time. So don't select the first option, go to create a new save and enter challenge mode. You're not actually going to be doing that, but it just brings up the saves. Now you can see in-game time of that was 2:15:09. So, yeah, okay, well, good luck on your runs if you do decide to do them, and thank you for watching.